welcome to Memester of the Week. And welcome to our talkback show about Season 1. I guess this is kind of, in a way, a Season 1 post-mortem. I hadn't really thought about that until now. But, yeah, we're going to recap what happened in Season 1. So anyone who is new to the show and wants to jump in when we start Season 2 doesn't necessarily have to go through 30 hours of content to know what the fuck is up. So I'm Jason. I am the keeper of our game.
And secrets.
I am the Chamber of Secrets. And within me, I contain multitudes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Meaning all the NPCs that we play.
Nope.
Basically, you are Legion.
Yeah.
You're demonically possessed by 1,000 characters.
Yeah, I am thousands of characters.
I really hate this thought experiment we're doing right now.
Yeah. It makes you deeply uncomfortable, and that's why I'm continuing it.
I mean, the whole show itself makes me deeply uncomfortable.
I am both the king of the Fae and your dad. So
I hate where this is going.
and like your grandpa also.
And you also have big
and also
titties.
Your grandma.
This is a problem.
Yeah, you and Jason are blood relatives.
Okay, and we're stopping there.
So, Amelia, what are you?
Oh God. I am
concerned.
Yeah, I am concerned. Thank you. I am concerned. I am also. Are you prompting me? Right
No, I'm telling you to point into your mouth hole into the mic hole, so we can pick it up well because we record on one microphone.
Yes.
Like fucking heathens.
I play the character of Jurnee. I'm what the hell am I now? I'm a mutt. I'm spooky-ish.
Well, you started as a mutt. You were a snoop and a spooky.
Snooky.
And a Snoopy.
A Snoopy.
You spent a lot of your time laying on your back on top of your doghouse.
Yeah.
And then you decided you were done with that, and you became just a spooky.
I became full spooky.
Yeah,
I went full spook. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And my character is very what's the word? Enthusiastic YouTuber. And she originally didn't believe in any supernatural
horseshit,
fiddle faddle.
Interesting choice of words from the two of us.
But now she's very much enshrouded in that fiddle faddle and is trying to make the best of a weird situation. And she has deer antlers now.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. They are not permanently attached to your head now.
Oh, I mean...
But you like to wear them there anyway.
I'd like to think that she fashions them into, like, a cute headband whenever she's not using them. Like, they just kind of fold over on top of her head.
Yeah, it's just like the Christmas reindeer headbands that you see in stores.
I love the deer girl aesthetic. Mm-hmm. The off-brand furry.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Who are you? Off-brand furry.
Well, we're really taking in our target demographics here, aren't we?
Gotta hit every demographic possible.
Speaking of target demographics, Phil, what are you?
I play Dan Ryan, who has a real name, and it is that. And he is Initiate. He's the Initiate. And he is I wouldn't say cult member. He's a member of a society
which we all live in.
Which is definitely not a cult.
He lives in a society who isn't a cult, but they are a little funky. And he didn't super choose to be in the cult either. He sort of was just brought up that way and doesn't always vibe with it, but that's the status quo. And he's been going to college lately and hanging out with Mordicai, with Tyler's character, and we're roommates. Oh my god, they were roommates. And then normal things happen that normal roommates do, like
talk about our feelings.
Yeah, going on drives in my van,
killing people,
burning down an entire cornfield. You know,
that was more of a me thing.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys' college experience was like, but par for the course.
Yeah.
I mean, whose college vehicle didn't have a weapon secret compartment? What's
a little murder between friends?
Exactly.
Murder? I hardly know her.
Oh my god.
All right, so Tyler, what are you?
Tyler's turn.
Hi, my name is Tyler. I play the character Mordicai Ishmael Bridges. You can call him Ishmael or Mord or Mortimus, really whatever you prefer.
Or Ishmord.
Yeah, Ishmord. Mordish.
Ishmord is his /fic name where he is shipped with another version of himself that only goes by Ishmael first. That's Ishmael Mordecai Bridges from a different universe.
Oh my god.
Dear God.
Dude, I'm in a mood today. I don't know what's up, but it's there.
Jason is feeling it.
He's feeling something.
Oh God. Man, I completely lost my train of thought after that. So Mordecai, his character is the Mundane, which those of you who are unfamiliar with Monster of the Week, that is the best power leveling class, apparently.
It really is.
Particularly if you have roll luck, as I do. So every time, you just, oh man, you just love leveling with that class, essentially. I got powerful really quick. I'm a stoner. I didn't know about the magical world, and then Dan just introduced it to me, and I just went with it because Mordecai is a chill dude who's pretty much down to clown whenever, wherever, with whoever, however. Animal
Can we
lover.
add another question word to that? Why ever? Why ever?
Whensoever?
Also, yeah, why ever? Sure.
However,
basically, Dan is my best friend, and I love the gang to death. Also, have a pet ghost dog, which is pretty sick. And also, at the end of this season, established a secret network of sentient woodland creatures.
And we'll get to that.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
But speaking of ghost dogs, let's talk about the first mystery. Let's talk about Ellendale. From a time before time, when none of us really knew that we were going to do a podcast, and then it was going very well, and we were like, "Hey, you guys want to make a podcast?"
Yeah,
here we are.
We were like, we recorded it anyway, so
yep,
might as well.
And I like to call this Jurnee's skeptic era.
Yeah,
or I guess the Jurnee in denial era.
Yep,
Journey's journey.
It's true. It was
spiritual journey.
The spiritual journey.
The spiritual journey begins when Dan and Mordecai meet Jurnee and Palmer. Palmer being our Fae companion and
my camera person
for Jurnee.
Yeah, very important camera person.
Yeah, who straight up was here partially as a punishment and partially to protect Jurnee from the ways of the world.
Protect Jurnee from the horrors that were about to befall her.
Which was also a punishment.
It's true.
Which is also a punishment.
Because hanging out with Jurnee is a punishment in a lot of cases.
Oh.
So Dan and Mordecai came and met them for it was a YouTube fan meetup.
Yep.
Essentially in her hometown.
Yep.
At the Southern Grille.
Southern Grille.
Southern Grille.
And you guys heard about a death in town?
Yep.
I think it is what it was.
Yep, we got a tip about a Mordor.
Yeah,
but potential Mordor.
But the odd thing was it was ruled as a suicide, but it couldn't have possibly been one because the gunshot came from across the room.
Yeah.
And then you found I want to say it was a picture of the victim with other business owners in town.
Correct.
And dog hair. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
I remember that
Correct.
happening.
To the T.
So you went and you found one of the other business partners that was related to the victim, and that's where Jurnee, you had your first magical vision.
My first That's So Raven moment.
Your first That's So Raven moment, where you saw from a low on the ground perspective of something running up to this house, and then a ghost appeared, and so did a ghost dog.
Yep.
Ghost dog.
Hijinks ensued. You guys managed to keep the victim safe.
Somehow.
There was a lot of tomfoolery involved.
There was much tomfoolery.
There was a lot. I believe that there was an insurance scam.
There was an insurance scam.
100%.
There was an electrician scam.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, yeah. Two of you were electricians. One of you was from animal control, and then one of you was running an insurance scam.
Yeah.
There was a lot of...
All the while, Palmer was trying to get me to believe in supernatural things, and I was just like, I do not see it.
Yep.
I simply do not not see it.
Yeah.
Magic kept happening slightly out of focus.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or slightly off camera.
Slightly off screen from where Jurnee is. One set ablaze business later, you guys went to a cabin in the woods and
Not that one.
found the hunting cabin of this ghost, and you were able to find and burn the remains. And Mordicai, you found the ghost dog's collar, and for some odd reason decided to put it on your neck like a choker. And now you have a ghost dog. Now you have Abby, our visual effects dog.
What's odd about that? What's unusual about that, guys?
That's totally normal.
Yeah.
Don't like
something that everyone would do.
We don't kink shame on this show.
You're right. We don't.
I just thought it was aesthetic.
Embrace.
Exactly, it is aesthetic. Thank you for being the voice of reason.
The voice of reason here. Yeah, ghost dog.
Are we going to talk about the actual twist of the case too? The fact
what was that? Please.
The fact that all the business owners and the ghost had gone into starting this trail guide business together, but the ghost was being a dick about it or something, and then they all killed his ass and buried him in his shed. And also apparently it was implied, had either accidentally or not ended up killing his dog at some point.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the ghost was back to get revenge on his murderers, and the ghost dog was back trying to warn people about the ghost's goings on.
So the lesson we should all take from this is don't murder anybody.
Don't do a murder. It's bad.
Yeah.
I suppose that would be the lesson from all of this, yeah.
It's
learn
widely
that.
regarded as a bad move.
Mm-hmm.
Experts agree. It's
99% of doctors agree. You should kill as little as possible when it comes to murder.
That 1%'s the one that you got to watch out for, guys.
That's the special kind of doctor.
So we go from there to Sleepy Hollow. Moving along at a nice pace from Ellendale.
The fall fits.
Fall Fits, the first iteration of Fall Fits.
Yep.
Where I am
iconic.
Where I am desperately trying to get us into the narrative.
And we're
and I'm fucking having ADHD in the corner.
Phil interrupts me about what you guys are fucking wearing, and I'm like, yeah, fine, sure, fuck it. What are you wearing?
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
And then immediately after we're done with that, I'm like, okay, yeah, back on track, back on the rails. Then you ask me about fucking coffee. And I'm like, no, I'm done. You get this, you get this, you get this. We're on.
And that's a solid summary of how all of our sessions go.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's a solid summary of how my fucking brain works.
Yeah, fair.
This is the first time that we see Kate.
That's true.
Yay.
Kate the fortune teller.
Mommy Kate, dude.
Yes.
Fortune teller and proprietor of magical goods, but she's only given magical goods to one of you.
I didn't trust her. Can't trust random people promising to give you magical things that will do magical things to you. That sounds like drugs.
But I made a cool mechanic for it.
Yeah, well.
She's also canonically confirmed to have big bazoingas.
Yeah, we are not going to brush past that. Okay.
You know, you're right. At this point, it's a feature. So
it's important to the plot.
Well, technically,
specifically, to quote young Philium, Mr. Keeper, does Kate have big honkin' bazongas?
What's hilarious is that you guys are so goddamn wrong. Because it's not Kate. It is a character that went unnamed.
Wait, what?
Yeah. It was an unnamed Fae character from the interlude between these two mysteries that Palmer was talking to get her.
Oh, you're right.
Her boss from beyond. And that's when that moment happened.
It was the
Doesn't
other
sound
lady.
right.
Yeah,
Doesn't sound right. I don't believe that.
That's not how I remember it.
Now Kate also has big old pazongas. You can't change it.
Yeah.
Jason's trying to gaslight us so he can retcon that whole thing.
Would you care to comment then on Kate?
I mean, I have always purposefully left Kate to be what people imagine her to be. I've always tried to keep it at a she is ageless looking. She could be easily between 25 and 45, and you would have no idea. And she is much older than that.
You know what else is ageless?
Do it, Phil. Say it.
The love of our Father.
All right. That's not what I wanted.
In heaven.
Nope. Thought something cool was coming out of that.
Well, I thought something cool was coming out of that.
No.
Is probably the quote for the show.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Anyway, there's Kate who has an indeterminable.
Anyway, now that we've had the booby talk,
and the fall fit discussion,
Sleepy Hollow.
That was awesome.
What do you guys remember happening in Sleepy Hollow? Is my question for you.
A lot of things, including a fire.
Which the normal Sleepy Hollow things.
Yeah. First of all, okay, let's focus this question slightly more.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was a harvest festival.
Yeah,
so there was a harvest festival. What was the mystery? What was the conflict of this mystery?
Weren't there people disappearing and we were sent to investigate? Or was it just like something weird might be happening? Go investigate.
It was more generic. Yeah, it was the second one.
It was definitely I got a bird message.
Yeah, you got a bird message and
Twitter DM. It's a fucking
Jurnee was
I got invited or something.
Yeah, Jurnee was invited and got like a free trip to Sleepy Hollow.
Which is very sus.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're a celebrity.
Begs the question, who did that? Who invited me?
Who did that indeed?
Well, I mean,
we never really figured that out.
Yeah.
Honestly.
This is
and the secret was lost to time.
No, it actually wasn't. It was answered in Cheddar Bay when Dusk is like, "Hey, who do you think is sponsoring?"
Anyway, we will get there.
But we'll get there.
Okay.
We pretty much immediately gravitated to Kate because she was sus.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was a fortune telling booth, and some of us got our fortunes read. She fucked with my cult tattoo.
Yes, your cult tattoo. So the detail of your cold tattoo was that whenever the eye is open, the information, like the world around you that you see, is also seen through that eye, and all of those things are communicated through it, right? Like that's kind of the deal with it.
Yeah,
and
it's
so
the tie-in.
Kate knew about this somehow and was like, I would really rather you not.
Yep.
And so magically closed that eye, which made you not super chill.
No, it was a little stressful.
Not great. Not chill vibes.
And admittedly, I did lash out a little bit because of that.
Yeah, you did basically call the cops on her.
Yeah, I sold her out.
Yeah, sold her out to the Brotherhood. Now the Brotherhood knows about her. Yep. That's a thread to follow.
Dan, I told you not to narc, bro.
Don't be a narc.
He narked.
He did narc.
He narked, and now you will all pay the consequences.
Oh, God.
I mean, Mordicai's...
You said not to narc when it involved drugs.
That's
all right. I mean, you did. Okay, you took away something useful out of that. Fair enough.
So in Kate's little tent, we read a book, and that was the Sleepy Hollow myth with some
annotation
margin notes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Which
seemed
I
weirdly
listened to that
first
the other
person.
day, and goddamn, Phil, did you just do such a fucking great job?
Yeah, that was a great time.
With that,
thank you.
Because that was a cold read. You had not seen that document before you read that on air, and nailed it.
Thank you. You say a lot of things good when you're recording the show. So
wow.
Thanks. We're great with the compliments here.
Whatever.
Whatever.
We're a supportive group. So yeah, Sleepy Hollow, this Dullahan was wandering around and trying to basically take a new vessel for it to continue its survival. And Palmer got kidnapped.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Palmer got knocked out and kidnapped.
Whoopsie.
In the corn maze.
Yeah,
right?
in the corn maze, taken from the corn maze.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were lost in the corn maze and getting attacked by Wickerman.
Yeah, and so we decided the logical solution is the problem here is the corn maze. Why don't we just deal with that through the most direct method?
Make it not a corn maze anymore.
What if no more corn maze?
And then the character who is somewhat blazing themed had a revelation.
Yep.
And that was
essentially the pretext to this is that Dan over the course of a couple of weeks was kind of teaching Mordicai magic.
Not on purpose. He was pretending to teach Mordicai magic.
He was also actively gaslighting him.
Actively gaslighting him, but then Mordecai's heart just drew its own magic out of the form that I had given you that was completely bogus.
Yeah, the exposure to the magical world really boosted me.
Yeah.
And I
much
did
to my
a
surprise.
hot General Iroh Dragon Breath Fireball Jutsu. Set that bitch on fire, dude.
Burnt it up.
Yeah, no problem.
Fire in the corn maze, fire in the Taco Bell.
Fire in the gates of hell.
So yeah, you guys ended up. That's also when Palmer unlocked her flight. That's when she got her wings back because she was fucking frustrated about it. Palmer got pissed and got her wings back and kind of teleported you guys to the final boss.
Whoops.
Yeah, that was effective.
Yeah, you got Zelda speedrun skipped to the final boss of the mystery.
I've got to say, we low-key speedrun this mystery.
We do. Yeah, because you had provided such a nice little juicy book full of lore, and then we were just kind of like, okay, but what if we just skipped all that and went right to the end?
It was entirely by accident.
Yeah,
too, which is great.
It was by accident. Hey.
Yeah, Palmer got kidnapped, so we were like fully gung-ho. Like,
yeah,
fuck this shit.
Yeah, it worked out. And then as you were fighting this, you had the Mordicai tripped over a branch and saw for the first time this sigil that was an owl nestled in thorns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
First time that came up. What was happening there? Why did that exist there? What was going on? You guys don't know, but I do.
Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?
Because I contain multitudes.
Hooray.
Yes.
Once again.
Fun times.
Jurnee, you fucking exploded the head of this monster.
First of all,
we worked together to explode the head of the monster.
I mean, it was definitely a group effort.
Yeah.
But Jurnee definitely used telekinesis to actually explode the head of this turnip.
There was a magic. Let's start at the beginning. There was a magic tree.
Yeah. There was a magic tree.
He walked through it.
That's how he came and went.
Yep.
There was some walking through of the tree. I don't remember by who. There was a radish or a turnip or something.
It was a turnip.
It was very big,
a large
conspicuously head-sized. That was at the base of the tree.
Yep.
We found it, and then he began addressing us in a very aggressive manner.
Yes.
And then I was like, "Hey, does this mean anything to you?" And he's like, "Whoa, hold on."
Hold up.
Excuse me.
And then I was like, "Okay, cool. This is important to you. I'm going to fucking destroy it." And then I shot it, and then it all went downhill from there.
It's true.
Yep.
Shit started hitting the fan, as it were.
But yeah, got through Sleepy Hollow. It was a fun time. It was a good time. And now we're on our way to spring break in Cheddar Bay, Maine.
That's right.
Where I don't know.
Where you don't know weather patterns.
What Maine is like in the spring. Because I was like, oh yeah, it'll be nice and sunny. And you guys are like, no, it's fucking cold.
It's basically frigid winter.
But you get a nice little trip with Jurnee's dad.
Yeah, who also doesn't know about weather patterns in Maine, apparently.
Who doesn't know about weather patterns in Maine.
Well, either he doesn't know or he's too stubborn to
I want to say that I made it a character choice that he knew, but he was just like, I'm on vacation mode and I'm going to wear my vacation clothes.
I'm going to enjoy this vacation the way I want, no matter what.
A very dad thing to do.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, did we say in the recap that he's a cop?
Not a cop.
Because that's an important detail.
Oh, yeah.
He's a detective.
He's cop.
That's the same. It's literally the same thing.
It may not be the same thing, but this is what we always do. We say he's a cop. No, he's a detective.
But this is the bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
We gotta say it at least once or twice.
Yeah, so he showed up very briefly in Ellendale, and then I realized, oh wait, you guys don't want to talk to cops. Fuck. See ya. But this is Jurnee's dad, and Mr. Sitwell came along on vacation for the Cheddar Bay arc, and shit was popping off. Things were being stolen from local businesses and local homes. We had the plaque of the local bakery, the award for Bay's Best Biscuits.
Oh yeah,
being taken away.
What was the name of that like place that we went into? It was really good.
I could look it up.
It was a stupid name.
I don't remember. I remember Ocean
Coffee
Bean.
Shop.
Yeah,
Ocean Bean.
Yeah, because you guys named you guys named the coffee shop. I think Sarah was the person who named it the Ocean Bean.
Ocean Bean.
Take me by your bean.
Oh, I don't like that.
That's a bit aggressive. Work your way there, Jesus.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and say that was not what was in the song.
I would also like to say we made an Ocean Man joke in the podcast at the time as well.
Oh yeah.
But musically.
So
kick me by the bean.
There you go, Tyler.
Let's not make a scene.
Tyler, what happened to Cheddar Bay?
Oh my god, dude, a lot. Jesus Christ. Let's see. What didn't happen in Cheddar Bay?
Right.
We found out. I mean, should I go in order of events, order of operations here, or just start throwing random shit out because a lot happened?
Preferably something that is understandable to someone who hasn't experienced this.
All right, let me see if I get my brain to work properly.
Okay, there was a cool cop lady.
Yeah, cool cop lady who
the only cool cop.
True. She accepted weed from me, correct? From Mordicai, I believe.
I don't believe that.
Or she was cool with it. She was cool with the weed. Like I was smoking in her house. So that was pretty cool. We also found out Mr. Sitwell had knowledge of the Fae, or at least Mordecai did, because he had a heart-to-heart with him about some fucking scorpion thing. Outside of the big mansion when we were all kind of splitting up and about to go do our own shit. Palmer and
also there was a big mansion.
Yeah, so there were these people who essentially stole gold from the Fae King, or specifically stole gold from the Red Lobster, which is a ship from the 1700s that was transporting gold for Oberon the Fae King. Mm-hmm. And that the ancestors of this family in Cheddar Bay had commandeered the gold from this vessel, I guess, and stole some artifacts from it or whatever, like a sword and shit. And which ended up cursing the crew of the Red Lobster. And Oberon was pretty pissed about it. Also, somehow the Applebee's ended up with something important. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Don't worry. So over time, this family had kind of seeded these artifacts around town as historical donations or whatever. And the crew of the Red Lobster had come back, finally returning to Cheddar Bay, trying to reclaim their lost goods so they can finally return their shit to the Fae King so they could kind of move on with their lives. And crabmen and weird sea creature people were attacking this town. After a little of investigating stuff, we go to this mansion and we kind of realized that the family of these people are dicks. Palmer and Jurnee go to the Lighthouse Museum to try to recover some artifacts. Dan, Mr. Sitwell, and Mordecai, we decided to go to Applebee's where a potential artifact was, I think. That was the reason we chose to go to Applebee's.
I think we just wanted to go to Applebee's.
Okay.
We also did just want to go to Applebee's.
We did also kind of just want to go.
It was mentioned, it was seeded throughout the mystery that we wanted Applebee's for some fucking reason.
Well, because you were with Jurnee's dad, and Jurnee's dad.
I think the heart of the bit was that's what something that a dad would want to eat at.
Oh yeah. We were
that's somewhere that I want to eat at because I'm fucking craving Applebee's.
And then we were all like, Applebee's sounds amazing, actually.
Yeah, we were also low key just trying to hang out with Mr. Sitwell.
We is a strong word.
It might have been just me.
We had a really good
heart-to-heart
scene in the Applebee's.
That's true.
To the plot that happened in the Applebee's.
It wasn't fully resolved either.
Nope.
Yeah, it was kind of a Jurnee's dad having the sit down talk with both of the boys about so you guys know about the supernatural and you're hanging out with my daughter.
Yep,
son of a bitch.
The talk.
It was pretty cool.
And then the window broke.
Yeah, and then a crab man tried to steal a sword that was hanging on the wall of an Applebee's.
Which pulled a fucking gun in the Applebee's.
That's
which
true.
That's where a sword would be.
Yep.
If you had to go anywhere in a city to find a sword, I would go to an Applebee's or a pawn shop.
I've heard that
the Applebee's first.
I've heard that in Breath of the Wild 2, you actually get the Master Sword in an Applebee's.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Costs $29.99.
It's the DLC.
Oh my god.
The Applebee's DLC. Applebee's, please give us any of your money.
Yeah, it was a weird tie-in.
That's a weird sponsorship spot, but you know what?
That's fine.
I think it's a good creative choice.
It's a new direction for Nintendo.
About Yeah, so Crabman grabs a sword. Dan tries to shoot it, very unsuccessfully, I would add.
I was successful enough to cause a massive fucking disturbance in the Applebee's.
It's true.
True. I mean, considering there was also a Crabman there who, like...
Yeah, it allowed me to steal the sword, though.
That's true. You got the sword. Yeah, you got the sword.
I got the sword because my organization asked me to grab some treasure. So I was like, cool, sword. And then the chaos, I stuck it in my deep, deep pockets.
Yep.
Yeah, your
deep
infinity
magical pockets. Yeah.
Your bag of pockets.
And that apparently, I guess, is going to come up again at some point. Who knows?
Someday.
And then Mordicai chases after Crabman. Using magic, tries to talk to it, and then turns out the Crabman is like sentient, and like I tried to be its friend, and I chased it solo. Yeah, he was a chill dude, actually. Jump over to Palmer and Jurnee. They found some like jewels and stuff. And they had to fight a other sea creature person, and we learned that Jurnee has some telekinetic abilities in that fight.
Yeah, it's true.
Jurnee also learned about that in that fight.
Yep.
Oh, she awakened her psychic potential.
Yeah.
Yeah, did some
Jurnee
psychic stuff.
Some wild Rube Goldberg machine kind of shit.
Yep.
I do remember that.
First of many.
Mm-hmm. It's become
that was tight. Mordicai.
Yeah,
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say you ended up doing that fight and getting through that. Everybody realizes that Mordicai is gone.
Yeah, so Dan loses me. I
think it was a split decision because wasn't it Jurnee called her dad and was like, "Hey, I'm in trouble."
Yes,
because you were at like 5 harm or something, like something treacherous.
Yes. Yeah.
And Dan was like, "Mordicai is already chasing after the crab monster. I'm gonna go help and make sure that everyone is alive."
Well,
yeah.
Didn't you at first go try to get me though? Because you saw me like rowing out by myself on a boat, and you like tried to walk over water.
My understanding was
and
that
failed.
Man, I don't fucking remember the order of events.
I think you tried to chase after me, like because I was on my own, and then
I did
failed.
try and Jesus, but my faith wasn't strong enough, so I faltered and I stepped into the deep water.
Yeah, and then so. Being that you failed, then you decided to go meet up with Palmer, and then I think that was order of operations there.
That or they found him. I'm not entirely sure how that played out.
Either way.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Mordicai
I remember you almost drowning. I distinctly
remember Dan almost drowning and being very
waterlogged. Yeah.
Being a very wet boy.
Mm-hmm.
We got a cool scene of Mordicai singing the stoner shanty as he was just rowing through, nailing all of those fucking rolls to get through the tide, the waves.
I do.
Oh, yeah.
I like purposely did try to make that difficult, and it did not work out. You just fucking killed it.
Got crushed it all the way through.
Yeah.
And then fucking Jurnee and Palmer actually like captured that sea creature man and like interrogated him.
Yeah, man.
Palmer like spoke to him like magically or something. Like
figured out cool. where the rest of the Fae were. Then you stole a speedboat.
Yeah, they committed grand larceny, dude.
No,
we did
borrowed. I had every intention of returning it.
Officer, I swear I was just borrowing it.
You did hotwire a speedboat.
Yeah,
you straight up stole it.
One of Jurnee's things is impulsive, so
absolutely
had to lean into
one of
that.
Them.
I just love that in this mystery, Mordicai did the least amount of illegal things.
Yeah,
that was my favorite part.
That's incredibly true.
Dan is like the straight man. Jurnee is like kind of what's the word? Like a goody kind of.
Yeah,
like she doesn't want to do bad things. And then Palmer exists outside of the law, I guess. But
I don't know if Dan is like a straight man, but that's a story for another time.
I mean, you operate like you're a straight man for the Brotherhood, I guess. Where like you try to do things /normal, I guess. Normal-ish.
I try not to raise an eyebrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you try and be somewhat inconspicuous.
Right.
Mordicai has never
I do not
heard
have that
word.
Yeah, I don't do that.
does not know this idea.
I was talking more about sexuality, but
oh, yeah, we can explore that later. That's
a story for another time.
All right. Okay. Well, that gives me ideas.
Wait for the Q&A questions. Cannot wait to ask these questions in Q&A.
So just to kind of get through this at the end, Mordecai reaches the boat. He meets the captain of the Red Lobster and one of his two cool homies, Octopus Tim and Sharkan Joe.
Ah, the boys.
Yep.
Yeah. So Mordecai was kind of just hanging out with them for a little bit, just talking.
You try so hard in this mystery specifically to just fucking vibe with these monsters. And I genuinely did not know what to do because I'm like, well, it doesn't really make sense for them to fight him. So what do
I was just hanging out.
What do I do here? Like, they've accomplished their goal. I think one of the things was that when I was writing this mystery, to peek behind the curtain slightly, I was really struggling with finding a more insidious motivation for the Red Lobster than I want my fucking shit back. And I never found one. So I was just like, you know what? Maybe it's fine to just kind of leave it here and let it be. And then you guys interacted with this character, and I was like, well, he doesn't really he just wants to get his job done. Like, he doesn't really want to fuck things up. He's not mindless or anything that.
That's what Mordecai said. He was like, dude, I'll help you get your stuff back. That sounds cool.
Yeah. And so I was
you guys seem like the victims here, honestly.
I'm like, yeah, sure, I guess. For most of this, and this was the moment that I decided that Mordecai is never allowed to have the move Dark Negotiator that would let him actually use manipulate a person on monsters because he would be too powerful.
Yeah.
he would be too strong, and all narrative reason would have to just be thrown out the window because he would be
out the window.
He'd be too powerful for that.
Friendly reminder for Monster of the Week players, if you just want a power level, just send it. Just try to do things constantly, and all the failures add up. And you just get really strong.
Just phone it in every time.
Yeah. When it works, it works. I don't recommend doing it in combat, though. Combat is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Don't do that in combat.
As your recent session shows.
Yeah, that was a super bad idea.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Maybe a little... Planning, also a really good idea in Monster of the Week.
When to phone it in also works pretty well.
Knowing what you're fucking fighting, super good idea in Monster of the Week. But you'll find out more about that in a few months. When that drops.
So yeah, the gang speedboats in. Dan is kind of in a tight spot.
Almost starts a big old fight with all these guys, but it ends up being chill.
Yeah, everything cools off.
You guys give them Cheddar Bay biscuits?
Yeah, we give Mordecai gives them Cheddar Bay biscuits.
Yeah, and got a sea dagger, got a fey dagger.
Yeah,
you got a secret dagger.
Yeah,
and then just happily ever after for the most part.
Yeah, you guys get back to the dock, and Dusk.
Are there.
The cops are there, but also Dusk, Dan's mentor from the Brotherhood, is there and wants to kind of have a chat with y'all. And he takes you into the van and into the van, and you walk down a staircase into a study. But the staircase was coming up from it's where you would store your extra tire in the back of this van.
In the boot, essentially, if you will.
You lift the
lid,
it's just a staircase going down. And he tells you guys all about the Brotherhood of the Dusk, and that you got they've been working for centuries to fight magical creatures and things that would do harm to humanity. And research them and kind of figure out their whole shit. And Palmer makes fun of them for being fucking nerds, which is fair and reasonable. Also, this entire time, Palmer has been seeing this deer-headed man pop up off and on throughout the Cheddar Bay mystery. And it comes to a head at the end. The deer-headed man shows up again and says that we need to take you home. And so he takes Jurnee and he takes Palmer to the Feywild. This was actually a really great moment to me. Dan and Tyler kind of puzzling out okay, how do we follow them? How do we get in there? How do we I don't know what happened, what is going to happen to our friends. We need to find them. We need to protect them.
Yep.
And you guys putting together some big magic to get into the Feywild and follow what's going on. And you end up dropping in the middle of this challenge for Jurnee and Palmer, where they are in a maze and fighting these elementals to try and fix this, kind of take on this challenge. And once again, you're just like, well, hey,
and as
Maze,
we do.
Yep.
Did you say Maze? I got a perfect solution for this. You just fucking burn it down.
We just blew a hole through it.
Yeah. But this is where you guys meet Oberon.
Yeah.
You meet Oberon the Fey King.
Big man left stairs.
He lets you know Palmer is his thorn. That's her official title. She is kind of like the head of the hunt kind of thing. And she was, we get a little bit more information about her and her backstory of kind of her being put into this position of taking care of Jurnee to try and make her a little more responsible, make her think outside the box a little bit more about like what she needs and what she needs to do to help the people that she needs to help. And we also get a little more information about Jurnee and her grandma that she's been having visions of.
Yep.
And that they were both, like Oberon and her grandmother were very close friends for years before this.
Friends.
And
friends.
Did you fuck my grandma?
They fucked.
Did you fuck my grandma?
There's no question.
Why did this have to happen?
I blame Sarah.
Yeah. It's all her fault.
For so many things.
Especially this.
Specifically this.
Mostly this.
And this is also a journey where you get some magical powers. You get kind of a blessing from Oberon.
Yeah.
And you change playbooks and you become full spook.
I go full spook.
You get full spookiness.
But I still have some flavors of Snoop left.
Yeah,
over.
you still have some Snoopy vibes.
Snoopy tendencies.
Yeah.
Snoop flavor.
Mordicai goes and wanders off, which is always a good idea inside the Feywild.
Yeah.
And follows a will-o-wisp to find Kate, who makes a deal with him to retrieve some information from the Brotherhood about her. And in return, Mordicai gets some additional magical items.
Some goodies.
And then Mordicai entreats also with Oberon, and Oberon likes him and thinks that it's kind of a fun deal to make. So he gives Mordicai the ability to speak with animals, and also makes a promise to him to help find out what happened to his mother. Then we have kind of a weird intermission. We have a weird out of time thing with the Christmas episode.
Is the Christmas episode in the canon?
The Christmas episode is necessarily in the canon. We find out a little bit more about Mordecai's relationship with his parents, and that
was stressful.
You had a bad trip, my guy. Mordecai has a bad trip after talking about his parents, and all of that. Jurnee has a nice little moment with her grandma and just like watching Bewitched.
Yeah,
essentially. Dan has a flashback where we meet Mala, a fellow initiate in the Brotherhood of the Dusk, and they talk about magic and training and all of these things, and they are making like Christmas dinner. And in all three of these, you guys ended up watching variations of Christmas Carol. Yeah, I was forgetting the name of it for a second. But in every one of these scenes, you see like some kids that are out of place. They're wearing like more modern clothes than what's going on. And meanwhile, over the Palmer is trying to gather up some items for a Christmas party, and ends up meeting a little kid who gets swept away at the last minute by this specter. And as she sees this specter, this large dark form that kind of reaches out towards her, she has a vision, and she sees the moon blood red in the sky, and Oberon on the ground, his crown of fire barely lit. And she sees a dagger come down and plunge into her chest, and feels immense strength, and sees the rest of the group looking on at her in horror. And then she comes back to it, and the kid is gone. And what we didn't see was that Dan was working to summon the child that was the sibling to the ghost that you guys had been working with at the hotel. And so everyone ended up coming together in the last moment, and you guys ended up reuniting these siblings and just having a nice, wholesome Christmas time with them.
Simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
Death came to you.
Oh. Yeah, I mean,
in a very literal sense.
You know.
It's your boy.
It's your boy.
It's your boy, Death. And
I love that the Grim Reaper and the Christian Satan are both canon.
Yep. It's good.
It's like fucking, do you want FedEx or UPS?
Yeah. They have a close working relationship, let me tell you.
Awesome.
Oh my god.
Loved
so, it. Yeah, Death does not fuck you guys up, but you guys certainly try. But Death has a comforting moment with these two kids after you've given them a wonderful final Christmas time, and they are reunited and able to go on in peace. And then we jump back to coming out of the Feywild and going in a van to Big Sur, California with Dusk of the Brotherhood to try and research what's going on with these Dark Watchers. Why are they breaking their pattern and suddenly attacking people who seem to be innocent? They had normally had an established pattern of attacking people who were kind of jerks, or guilty people who were like getting away scot-free from crimes or atrocities that they had committed. You guys went to Big Sur to investigate that. What did you guys find there? I've been talking for a long time.
Big surprises.
Big surprises.
Yeah.
Huber.
There's a bear with the top hat.
Yeah, that was my favorite
and a monocle. There's a statue of a bear with the top hat and a monocle. His name is Big Sur.
Yeah, we love off-brand Freddy Fazbear. That's my favorite.
Hugh Burris was my favorite.
Oh yeah, Hugh Burris.
Hugh Burris.
Love that
a
character.
classic.
The shop owner of Big Surprises.
Yeah.
Whom you guys threatened. And then
we
also
magically determined to be a relatively ethical capitalist as much as you physically can be.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Loved that.
There were people disappearing. As will happen sometimes in mysteries. But this one was weird because they were being taken by what was considered by the locals to be sort of a guardian presence that was picking up people who didn't seem to be problematic. They picked up some guy who worked at the subway or whatever. I don't remember where he worked, but it was
basically the equivalent to a subway. Yes.
Yeah, just some guy. And we went to his house and confirmed, or apartment or whatever, and confirmed that he was just some guy.
Yeah,
he wasn't.
We did find a map of the local mines there. Yeah. Rather, Mordicai did, and then we didn't mention it for like 3 episodes.
Right. Yep.
It never came up.
Never came up.
It's true.
Many things went down at Big Surprises. I bought every candle, light stick.
Every candle. We solidified
flashlight.
a relationship with Slim Jims. Thank you.
We went all in on Slim Jims.
Good friend of the show and sponsor. Someday, Slim Jims.
You'd snap
Slim
into
Jims,
a Slim Jim.
if you want to go ahead and just slide that check under the door, go ahead.
Oh my God.
We will take it from you.
I will also just accept payment and more Slim Jims.
Yeah, we will also accept a lifetime supply of Slim Jims, please.
Guys, what if Slim Jims and Snapchat teamed up and then you could snap it to a Slim Jim, as in it would be in your contacts and you could snap something to a Slim Jim?
Oh, that would have been a great brand deal about 5 to 10 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
That would have been insane.
My God.
Please cut that.
This is painful.
I love it.
They're Dark Watchers, by the way. The things
they're dark watchers, by the way.
Hence grabbing all the light shit out of Big Surprise.
Yeah. You bought a ton of flashlights. You bought, I think, canonically every flashlight they had.
Canonically, every lighting device that they had in the store.
Rule number 1 of Memester of the Week: yes, we have a flashlight. Yes, we have a flare.
Yes, forever.
That's true.
We did have some dope moments of you guys fighting these Dark Watchers and fucking them up in the street, which was great. Mordicai at one point did try and talk to one and discovered, nope, that's not working. These things are
they're dumb.
These things are not going to be talked down. They are animals functionally.
I forgot we fought.
But speaking of animals, Mordicai got some buddies.
Yeah.
Did some big magic on some local animal leaders of the community, I guess. And empowered a crow, a raccoon, and a frog with some magic. The crow can now speak very fluently in English to people, and the frog and the raccoon are now both super strong and are very talented at the banjo.
Yeah, that was sick.
Also, we've been working with the Brotherhood more closely on this one.
Yeah.
And we had been trying to get information from this member of the Brotherhood named Harker, who had this like library cabin and was kind of a tweed and wasn't very helpful. And then while we were researching, he was kind of like, fuck this, and then he went off on his own.
Yeah, kind of just generally being a dick to you guys and talking down to you at every moment.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, Mordicai almost got arrested.
I did
almost. Yeah,
not to jump around too much. Yeah. Well, we broke into that dude's house.
Kicked in the door. Neighbors called the cops.
I specifically kicked in the door. Yeah, you did fix the door. That's
with magic.
That's
and then we ran away,
but
and
that
we left
doesn't
you behind.
unkick the door.
That's true. They saw it.
You can't unfuck a turkey.
Where he's like, I don't know. I think it kind of does.
I was gonna not say anything for this whole thing, but yeah, I've been listening in. Hi, I'm Ray. And yeah, I would say that quite literally unkicks the doors if you fix it with magic. Like you just turn back the clock a little. Just turn that little clock back.
But they saw it. They saw it.
Yeah. But if it's not broken, did you really break in?
Well, if you're inside, yes.
Oh, okay, you got me there.
But you can't prove it because the door's not broken.
But you can't prove it.
You can't prove
it.
Exactly.
In a court of law, that'll never stand.
This is my primary domicile. Remember that.
Primary domicile.
Be harassed. Yeah.
So you kill some Dark Watchers. You find their bones that they drop because like a fucking loot in a JRPG.
Yep. Oh, they've got an alchemical symbol on them.
Yeah, they got alchemical symbols on them.
We found that symbol on a bridge as well.
Yeah, it seemed to kind of mark the targets throughout the town over the years. And then you guys can't find Harker. You go searching for him, and you end up going to this mine, this abandoned mine in Big Sur, which ends up being the nest of the Dark Watchers, and, in a surprise twist, Harker's actual lair, where he has been conducting experiments on these creatures. You guys fight, almost die, specifically Mordicai, multiple times.
Oh, yeah.
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 We did kaiju battle, though.
You did make a kaiju fight.
There was a kaiju fight. That was very fun.
That finale was such an anime ending, and I loved every second of it. Just as a listener, letting you all know.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
It was a lot. You made a Cerberus out of Abby.
Yup.
Animal companions came to help y'all out.
Also, Dan finally learned a little bit about magic from Mordecai and took burn everything.
Yes.
Which, fortunately, we were in a coal mine, so that worked out great.
Yeah, super good. Coal mine's on fire all around you guys.
Uh-huh. We can't get through an arc without burning down something.
Yeah, something has to be on fire. Rule number one. Rule number one of Memester of the Week, something has to be on fire.
Yes.
Obviously.
Essentially.
At all times. It's normally just Mordecai. it's normally Mordecai's blunt. That's the thing.
I can't believe that also was true for the fucking Halloween special.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Harker manages to get away.
Slippery devil. And
you guys get out. And so all is happy and well as much as you can. You got some of Harker's research as you left.
Didn't he Hulk out?
Jurnee
Am I remembering that wrong? Didn't Harker Hulk out? Didn't he fucking inject himself with like?
Oh, so he got sprayed with the life essence. That Jurnee found, and it basically healed him and turned back the clock on him for a couple of years of age and wear. So yeah, practical application in the field is sometimes a good thing.
If you hurt Harker and then spray him with life essence, did you really hurt him?
Yes, but now he's younger.
That's an excellent answer. And then, so Jurnee was knocked out during that fight with the final Dark Watcher, the Alpha Dark Watcher. And you guys all get out, and then Percha, the deer-headed man, once again shows up and tells Palmer that she is needed by Oberon, and that's time to go home. And so Palmer leaves and leaves Jurnee in your capable hands. And that's where we end it. That's where we see the end of season 1. We have a little post-credit scene of someone putting some files together. that are all labeled Ellendale, Big Sur, Cheddar Bay, and Sleepy Hollow. And somebody's been documenting these events on you guys. And then we also have our little Halloween special, which was kindly run by Mr. Ray himself.
It was an absolute honor.
Yeah, ton of fun.
So fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
I got to bring Mala back into the fold.
That was great.
And give Dan a little bit more background. Mala being a character that Dan and Mala were both initiates in the Brotherhood of Dusk. They were on a graduation mission hunting Basilisk with Dusk, the mentor that they had both had. And during that mission, the Basilisk had taken her and bitten her arm off. But she was able to make a tourniquet and escape. And she had been having doubts about the Brotherhood for a while and decided never to go back. But she couldn't communicate that to the rest of the people that she was with, because then the Brotherhood would know about her whereabouts, and that would put her in danger and her family in danger, so it was better off for her to be considered dead.
And the significance of losing her hand was that was the hand that had the eye tattoo on her hand, right?
Mm-hmm. You are correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. It took away their ability to keep track of her, and also left a convincing enough amount of evidence of her death.
Anton is one of my favorite NPCs of all time.
Yeah.
Of all time.
And
all of
Anton
our favorites.
Being yet again a local cop, right?
We all want
another cop.
Anton.
Yeah.
Anton the spinoff.
Yeah, we need a spinoff of specifically Anton and Jurnee's dad.
Yeah.
On
Andor, forget about it. Anton,
need it.
Little Drake meme.
Yeah.
I did pitch the other day to Ray. I think you probably remember me sending this in your DMs of doing a buddy cop series. Buddy cop side series that is just Jurnee's dad and Anton O'Toole.
I love it.
I forget what led us to the town where the Halloween mystery took place. I don't remember where it was, honestly.
Oakdale, Michigan.
Michigan. My favorite state.
And then you got basically like you got a letter from the Brotherhood, as is tradition. Just telling you like, hey, go check this thing out and get the blood of the person who's imprisoned here.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep. I remember that. And then I saw Mala, and then we immediately had like a little bit of a fight.
Yeah, you had a little bit of a wizard duel.
I thought that they weren't real.
Yeah, you thought they were a changeling?
Yeah. Because I was like, I know you're dead. So how dare you imitate my friend?
Yeah, and then we all turned.
But it worked out.
We're like, say the line, Tyler, and then you are like, I'm gonna go off by myself.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
As is tradition.
And there was some kind of seed or something.
I had never seen someone so perfectly called out.
What can I say?
Yeah, I went into that knowing Tyler was gonna go off on his own. Like, are you prepared? I think the thing that surprised me the most, like, because, you know, I've been an avid fan of your show since Cheddar Bay. Like, I think that's whenever I started listening. But, like, I get this impression of, because I skipped over the first 3 episodes because, like, I have an audio thing.
I actively tell you in the first episode to maybe skip it.
Yeah.
Honestly,
you were like,
fair.
Yeah, you said skip it. And I was like, well, if the GM says do it, I'm going to do it. And so I missed this very important detail whenever you all are building your characters, where Tyler is taking notes the entire time, and you can like hear his keyboard.
Oh,
and so throughout like listening to the show, I just assumed like Tyler's just one of those like chaotic like players who like semi sort of listens and then just kind of does what he wants. No, I was dealing with like a mastermind chess player who's like got this whole like game figured out. Like you're seeing the code of things and like you have like notes on everything, and I'm just like, oh, what did I walk into?
Oh my god.
Oh. Thanks.
Poker face.
The mastermind himself.
I do try to keep track of everything going on. So everything that a character says, even if I don't write it down, I'll keep like a mental note of it. And then that's like, okay, I can use that. Or there seems to be something more there that I can try to twist. Because when I made the character mundane, I was like, all right, I realized mechanically Mordecai likes fighting things, or story-wise, Mordecai likes fighting things, but mechanically he cannot because he's trash. Like he's a mundane. Yeah, I was like, so what if I knew? Like, I think in my character description, I was like, yeah, he knows fake kung fu from watching like TMNT and like fucking Naruto and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And but he's like, he smokes weed all the time, and he's a social person, so like he'll just try to talk his way out of as many problems as he possibly can. And then when worst comes to worst, starting in the Sleepy Hollow arc, he'll just fireball whatever he can after that, essentially. So
when you have fireball, suddenly a lot of things look flammable.
Yeah.
I think they call it aggressive negotiations. Just
yeah,
essentially, like, but in his heart though, like if something can talk to him, that's like, all right, they're like, I just want to smoke weed with you, like, so I'll take notes on, like, when you were like describing the relationship between Jack and Satan, I was like, there's a character dynamic there that I have two options. I'll just keep talking to him and then maybe we can come to a conclusion, or my friends who actually do like powerful stuff will eventually come and then they'll come save me from this very bad situation. So I'll just keep going.
So you ended up getting into a bad situation where Mala was like, hey, maybe we should research what's going on. And you were like, hey, fuck you.
Well, yeah. Well,
hey, that sounds like nerd stuff. So you do that. I'm going to go talk with this guy.
Research.
So another thing is, like, you know, Mord, he loves Dan to death. Dan is his best friend. And if Dan is sus about somebody and doesn't like somebody, like, so outwardly, then Mordecai will initially be not chill with that person. So
yeah, for sure.
That was kind of the reasoning behind him just being like, nah, dog, Dan doesn't trust you. I don't trust you. Like, I can't be about that.
Go Rams.
Go Rams.
Absolutely.
Go Rams.
Go Rams.
Which is also why Dan was so hurt. I mean, Mordecai was so hurt twice when Dan betrayed him so brutally over the course of this season.
What were the betrayals again?
What did they do?
Dan lied to him about fuck. I just damn.
I know in the Halloween episode there's one where Dan gets the note from a crow. And Mordecai asks him what's up, and Dan's like nothing, and just burns the note.
Oh,
and Mordecai's like,
okay, I didn't know we were about that, my guy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So he realized we were still there.
Old habits die hard.
Maybe there's three. Dan lied to him about dragons. Yeah. Because Mala was like, no, there are definitely dragons. And I was like, dude, what the fuck?
I was like, imagine dragons.
Imagine dragons.
Yeah, I remember that joke also happened.
God,
Thanks,
that was amazing.
And the other betrayal was Dan not telling Mordecai about the fact that he had friends prior to Mordecai, I believe. That was another.
Yeah, Mala's existence.
Yeah. Like, bro, what have you been keeping from me?
To be fair, Dan did not think that would come up.
As it does. These things tend to come up, but Dan doesn't know that.
Character backstories coming up later in the series.
What?
Yeah,
I hardly know her.
Who could have thought?
Who could have thunk it?
Who would have thought? So we end up seeing this fucking. He looks Druish, apparently.
Yeah.
Forgot
This-
that was also a thing. Yeah.
This druidic sorcerer who is trying to do a big magic to end the world, and it ends up being Jack of
Black.
Lanterns.
The beanstalk.
the Jack of Trades, the one who is all of these things. He wants to end it because he is no longer being accepted by the afterlife on either level, on either side. And so he's like, you know what? If I flood it, you got to put me somewhere.
Yeah.
But you guys, once again, end up doing a good old talk.
Well, we did a good old talk. I accidentally fertilizer bombed a Home Depot.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
you did.
I
you did
love that.
commit an act of domestic terrorism.
And then
By
stole
accident.
a truck? I don't remember how I got the truck.
Stole a
You
truck
stole
from a
it.
local.
To be fair, Anton kind of gave you permission, right?
Yeah, Anton was low key like, hey, I wouldn't know where this is, but it might be somewhere around here. Anton was a bro.
I remember that now, yeah.
Anton absolutely got fired after that whole ordeal.
Oh, for sure.
They just needed somebody to blame, and, he was around.
He was on the clock.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was the one on duty.
He did not have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then Phil, in I want to say maybe the largest curveball that we've had on the show so far, you summon the literal devil.
Was not expecting that.
Yeah.
Was not expecting that.
I'll say I was not expecting it to work.
I'm absolutely the keeper who, like, if you just like pitch me something cool enough, I'll let you do anything.
We are simpatico in that vibe.
Yeah. Yep.
And so you basically force Jack and Lucifer into relationship counseling, which is really where we all need to be at some point or another in our lives. Mm-hmm. And everything works out mostly fine. The man who had been suspended and being drained of his magical energy ends up being Severus Savarti, who is the character that Ray played on the Keeper's Retreat one-shot previously, who had also previously met Harker, and then was one of the main characters, the main NPC of $2 Creature Feature Season 1.
Yes, that's correct.
I didn't have enough of an appreciation for that when it happened, but that was pretty sick.
Yeah. I was like, when you said that he had green magical energy coming out of him and gave a little bit of his description, I mentally was like freaking out because I was like, oh shit, this is how this connects. Okay, cool.
Yeah. I very selfishly inserted my own OC Don't Steal into the same.
He was already canon inside of this world. He just hadn't met the rest of the crew.
Exactly. And I thought it was a great way to tie that all in together. And I was expecting him to have a bit of a bigger role in things, but
but then we fucking summoned Satan, so
yeah.
Well, hard to compete really with that.
Yeah, and I mean, truthfully, like, I had only meant for Anton to be like in one scene and leave. Like, his whole role in that was just to give information about what he saw on people stealing, like the little like leshies stealing the plant, and then like he was going to just
the way.
Yeah, and then like
we love
this last minute character I just kind of threw together. You all were like, yes, you are now friend.
I remember watching you decide everything about him.
We like actively adopted him on the spot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great. If you'd given him a less sexy voice, we probably wouldn't have done that. But whose fault is it really?
I'm sorry. Also cursed. I'm sorry, I can't do that. I'm cursed.
Truly the perfect radio voice.
Oh, thank you. Once I get my Matt Berry impression down, like, it's over.
It's over for you bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So Severus Savarti shows up and claims that he had hunted down the Brotherhood and thought that he had killed them. Obviously not necessarily true, but did claim that he had been captured by them and tortured by them for a significant period of time. Mala, understanding this, and sees Dan going to try and take his blood because that's what he was told to do. Mala stops him, and Severus, understanding what's going on, says, I'm not going back, and grabs Mala and teleports away, and she's gone. And then now we are all up to date on what has happened so far in Memester of the Week.
Nice.
Great job. This has been, I mean, like, genuinely, I've loved playing and experimenting and learning to figure out how to do storytelling in this medium over the last, we've been playing this game for like 2 years. We started playing like 6 months before we released anything. And so this has been a great journey, and genuinely I can't imagine what my life would be like now without having started it. And
I have been a great journey.
You have been a great journey, and we love you for it.
For something that we thought was just going to be a silly little like online house game to like kill some time during like the height of or the first wave of COVID. This ended up being something.
Pretty fun. It ended up being something, and it ended up being something cool. I like started doing this because I wanted to kind of flex the sound design muscles a little bit more and learn more about editing. That being said, a genuine, heartfelt thank you to everyone who has listened to this show and everyone who has been supporting it and checking it out and been willing to share and talk about it. And we can't wait to show you what we have coming up next, including a nice little Q&A session with our producer and host from $2 Creature Feature, Mr. Ray, as we do some Q&A and I subject Tyler and Ray to a trivia game.
Oh, God.
Oh, God, you're serious about that?
I didn't think that was actually happening.
Oh, it's happening.
Oh, my God.
I have very few questions, and most of them are pretty easy, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so stay tuned for that coming up. Until next time, this would be normally where somebody would have a tagline for a sign out.
Stay fresh.
Stay fresh.
And next time on Memester of the Week.
See ya.